Bitcoin and Ethereum. Can Bitcoin dump towards $44,000 while Ethereum is pumping towards $9,000? In this video I will reveal to you the secret plan of whales and where they are moving their money right now.
My crypto paradise.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Salman from Crypto Paradise. In the previous video I taught you how to understand the market cycles. We have been going through everything, and thanks to that we have been able to sell altcoins exactly at the top of this medium time frame cycle. For example, this signal which we have shared with ParadiseTeam VIPs, we have been taking profits on securely at the top of the cycle, and just recently we have been also opening some short-term trades, ladies and gentlemen, just because of the things I have been explaining to you in the previous video. As you remember, for understanding the market cycle, what is important to analyze precisely is not only the Bitcoin dominance that I have been suggesting that will go to the upside, and as you can see at the moment we are nearing our resistance level. We will be talking about this resistance level, but also I have been telling you about the USDT dominance. That is also very important part of the market cycle, ladies and gentlemen, and if you can analyze it properly, it can really help you to understand in general where the crypto whales money are flowing. And we have been bullish on the USDT dominance as well, which is bearish for crypto market. As you can see right now, we are at the resistance, ladies and gentlemen. We will be talking about that as well. But most importantly, we have been also talking about Ethereum, which is basically the king of altcoins, right? And I have been sharing with you this secret pattern that we will be diving deep into in this video. And I told you that even though we are just above this important support zone, we are with the highest probability gonna complete the E-wave and continue to go lower. As you can see, Ethereum is right now doing exactly that. We are actually down by around 7%, ladies and gentlemen. We will be talking about that as well. The main two questions that I will be answering in this video is, first of all, can Bitcoin dump while Ethereum pumps? And the second questions I will be looking at with you is, when and where am I planning to buy back into Ethereum and altcoins? We will be going through this, ladies and gentlemen, right now. Let's have a look quickly at others dominance. You know that others dominance is basically like an S&P 500, 500 stocks, and one index price is taken in consideration the average. This is something similar. Others dominance is basically taking majority of the altcoins in consideration, and we are getting the average. So if you can perfectly analyze the individual indexes that are important in the overall market cycle money flow process, you can then with a much higher precision trade individual altcoins. And as you remember, we have been selling altcoins exactly at the top right here. Right now we will not go too much deep into how the money flow process is working. For that, watch the previous video where I have been describing that in detail. Right now what is important to understand is that we are having an uptick in dollar index, right? That's basically the third, which is part of the phase one. And you know that from the medium time frame perspective, we have been reversing the cycle, ladies and gentlemen, and right now seeing the upticks in dollar index while the crypto total market cap is losing value is some kind of a sign of nearing the finish of the cycle, and we are watching with the ParadiseTeam signs for a reversal, right? As we have been speaking in the previous video, first the smart money are starting the cycle, and then the dump money, the crypto retail, is basically following the process. As a professional traders, we want to trade the waves with the big guys, with the crypto whales. That is why we need to monitor the markets closely and also observe what's going on the on-chain. Let's zoom in right now into Ethereum dominance, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly. So you see, as I've mentioned in the previous video, we have this bearish divergence on RSI and also MACD together with the price making a lower high, and right now the weekly probably will close below the moving average trend line. This is bearish, right? So what we are looking at is a second wave formation of our Elliott Wave impulse higher, ladies and gentlemen. And if we will not be able to close the weekly candle above the moving average trend line and get rid of this bearish divergence, it seems like with the highest probability we are nearing towards this support. So we are looking for that, ladies and gentlemen. Then very quickly about Bitcoin dominance, the same thing. We are waiting for a retest higher or break below this moving average trend line. As you know from the previous videos, we have this exaggerated bullish divergence on RSI. We are waiting for the retest of this moving average trend line on the weekly RSI, which should should synergize with retesting the resistance, and it will be another confirmation that will help us to understand where we sit in the market cycle and where the big boys are moving their money. Another thing, very important thing, USDT dominance, ladies and gentlemen. You know that when USDT dominance is bullish, that seems to almost always be the case for overall crypto market bearishness, unless we have some new money inflow. So right now you can very clearly see the bullish divergence, the price been making lower lows, however the RSI been making higher lows. This is a classic example of our bullish divergence that you can be learning about on our website markettoparadise.com. It basically means that even though the price been pushing lower, the momentum of bears been decreasing. They started to get exhausted, and this is usually the perfect time for the bulls to take over because they are fresh and strong, and that's exactly what happened right here. And we are trading inside of this expanded flat pattern, probably expanded flat pattern, ladies and gentlemen. After finishing this third wave, we got after finishing this third wave, we have got the A wave, then a B wave, and right now it seems like we are creating an extended C wave, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you what I mean by that. If the corrective pattern of a flat formation is corrective, that means the C wave goes way beyond the end of the A wave, alright? And right now it seems to be the case. By the way, the A wave is a corrective mode wave which fits perfectly, the B wave as well, but the C wave, unlike the A and B waves, the C wave is a motive mode wave. That means it subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves, alright? And right now it seems like we have created first one, second one with a retesting of the moving average trend line, and if we will break and reclaim this resistance, it seems like we are creating a third one, and that will confirm the expanded flat formation, ladies and gentlemen, and we can expect that we will really start retesting this descending trend line and also this resistance that I have previously analyzed for you, which is made from the structure, previous support, and also Fibonacci retracement levels. After that we will reverse, and if it's nicely gonna fit into the resistance with the Bitcoin dominance and support or break higher with the Ethereum dominance, and then we will be watching where we are in the money flow process, it will help us to understand, alright, this is the great time to get back into altcoins. So we are monitoring with ParadiseTeam exactly that. And right now, how can I say Bitcoin is finished with its cycle and Ethereum is just starting? How can I say that? Well, I have multiple reasons for that. First of all, we will be looking at what happened in the history. Second of all, you know that from the previous videos, Bitcoin actually finished already its cycle, and right now we are at the last most important resistance. And also because we understand the market cycles, ladies and gentlemen, and we know that it's happening on lower degree time frames and also on higher degree time frames like monthly, weekly, etc. These cycles are happening basically everywhere. It can be visible on an hour time frame, but also on a monthly time frame, alright? And the major cycle, I don't believe it's finished yet, and it's with the highest probability just starting. So right now I do believe that the higher degree cycle is still here, okay? And very soon we will start to go into a phase number 4 where the money in a major way will be flowing from Bitcoin into Ethereum. I don't believe we are there yet. And if we take a look what happened in the history, ladies and gentlemen, if we take a look at the previous cycles that we have been experiencing in the bull markets of 2017 and 2021, let's have a look what was happening, alright? So on Monday, 11th of December 2017, you can see Bitcoin was pretty much done at around $19,000, yeah? However, Ethereum wasn't done at all, right? So after that period, what happened? Bitcoin started to drop lower, however, Ethereum and altcoins started to pump higher, alright? They just started their own bullish cycle. How is that possible? How is that possible that they got a bull trend without Bitcoin? Well, somebody was fueling the bull trend, and it was the money from the Bitcoin, right? If you have been around, we have been catching that together before the bear market 2018, and the same thing happened, right? We have been watching what the whales are doing. We have been taking a look at the small nuances with the money transferring hands where the crypto whales are moving. So we have been able to catch it. Most of the retail, however, they got bullish right here at the top and they got burned. The same thing happened in 2021, ladies and gentlemen. Monday, 5th of April, you can see Bitcoin was already finished, didn't create another higher high. However, the Ethereum started its bull trend and created a higher high, alright? So Bitcoin basically crashed and the Ethereum started a new cycle together with altcoins, alright? So basically it was funded with the money from Bitcoin. The money didn't leave the crypto market, it stayed in the market. It was just completing the market cycle, okay? And something similar, I do believe it will be happening right now. The Bitcoin will not create another higher high. However, I do believe that Ethereum will, and we will start pumping towards $9,000 as a first major target, ladies and gentlemen. Because of the understanding of the market cycles, this is also one of the reasons why after we have been with the ParadiseTeam VIPs holding on spot exchanges Bitcoin and accumulating here at $19,500, and we've been holding all the way to the upside, and only right here we have been selling, ladies and gentlemen. If you have been around also watching the videos, you know that I have been updating you at $109,000. We are selling everything, right? And we have been also opening shorts, and basically from the spot trading perspective, we have not been interested in Bitcoin at all anymore, right? And right now we are just doing what the whales are doing. We are focusing, we are shifting our focus early enough before retail into Ethereum and altcoins. So we are interested in trading altcoins and Ethereum in a bullish manner, and we are not accumulating any more Bitcoin. We will start accumulating back at lower prices once we start restarting the overall market cycle. And speaking about altcoins, Ethereum is the king of the altcoins. So if you want to be trading altcoins profitably, not only you need to understand the market cycles, you also need to understand Ethereum, right? So let's zoom out into daily time frame. This is high time frame perspective for us, ladies and gentlemen. And what can we see is basically what I have been updating you about in the previous videos, right? So from the ultra high time frame perspective, we have finished the expanded flat with the C wave finishing right here, and right now we are starting a new impulse, all right? And this is subdividing itself into 5 smaller waves, as you know from our website, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But these smaller waves subdivides itself also into smaller waves, right? And if you understand the price action development, you can create much better trading ideas, right? So right now I do believe we are starting a new trend. We are starting a new ultra high time frame degree. First wave, ladies and gentlemen, that will finish around $3,300. We will be talking about the target. After that, we will have a secondary wave, and the overall impulse will take us towards $9,000, I believe, all right? But we will be talking about that in the next videos. Also, why do I expect the final target is not just $9,000, it's actually $19,000, ladies and gentlemen. But it's gonna take a little bit longer for the Ethereum, but we are gonna get there. So right now, let's understand the subwaves of this higher degree wave of the first impulse, all right? So for that, we need to calculate the subwaves. So right now, you can see very clearly with me that we have finished the first wave. This is the first wave right here. We have finished that with the secondary wave, right? Then we started the most impulsive third wave right here. Well, and right now we are creating a fourth wave. The fourth wave at the moment, in my opinion, is taking a place of an expanded triangle. We will be talking about the expanded triangle. Right now, however, what we need to do in order for us to understand where is going to be the next support is to draw a channel, all right? And how we gonna draw the channel? At this case, when we are forming the fourth wave, we want to say with some precision where with the highest probability the fourth wave is gonna end up, right? So we can do it with many ways. One of the way is channeling. So we basically connect the first wave with the top of the third wave, which is right here. Let me change the line. Okay, and I put it to the top of the first wave, and basically we probably have 3 connections. The more connections you have, the better, all right? This is 1 connection, second, third. So this is perfect. 3 are enough. And right now we can copy the slope of the channel and we can put it to the bottom of the secondary wave right here, okay? And right now, if we zoom in on 4-hour time frame inside of our medium time frame perspective, ladies and gentlemen, what can we clearly see is some kind of a confluence at this area right here, all right? And as a professional traders, you want to be trading only the best probability trade setups, all right? That means you want to be buying only at the highest possible support zones and selling or shorting at the strongest resistance zones. And then it really depends on your probability point system, on your overall trading strategy, where you have an edge, right? And then you determine how much aggressive you go into the trade or how much defensive you go into the trade. It's really about understanding how much of an odds do you have in the market currently, and then execute your trading ideas based on that assumption. So if you have a great odds on your side, you risk more. If you have less odds, you risk only a little. It's like in a professional poker, right? When you have a great cards, you go aggressive. When you have a bad cards, you don't trade at all. That means you fold or you risk only a little. So right now we can see there is this ascending trend line from this channel channel, right? Another thing is there is also the descending trend line from connections of the A and C of this expanded triangle, which we will be talking about. And then also there is this Fibonacci retracement level that is creating our support here as well. And also we have some price action structure support at this area as well. And as you can see, the VPVR also having some activity here. So this is going to be at around $2,330. This is going to be a great way to monitor for some confirmations in order for you to be taking some long positions. This is going to be a great opportunity for long positions if there are going to be confirmations if we get to this area right here. Also, together with that, you want to understand how safe is it to open a leverage position or a spot position. So in case of a leverage position, you can see that we are actually on Ethereum finishing with the liquidity pools at around 2,240, right? Below us, after that, there is an empty spot. That means no more stop losses, no more liquidation levels. So if the market makers will start to liquidate in downside, you probably know where is it safe to place a stop loss, right? So below the liquidation levels, and also if you can place it below the nearest important Fibonacci retracement level, you understand that here, right here, if your idea is correct, it's a pretty safe support that shouldn't go and be broken. If your trading idea is correct, that means a great way and great place below which to place your stop loss. Together with that, it's creating a beautiful risk to reward opportunity. That means you can place your stop loss as tight as possible to your entry and your targets, because you understand we are gonna have a fifth wave. You can place much higher, right? So if you trade this way from a long-term perspective, you will always be profitable because you have a great probability on your trading ideas and you have also a great risk to reward. So this is amazing. And let's talk a little bit about that expanded triangle, ladies and gentlemen. The expanded triangle is very common for a fourth wave of an impulse. So basically, fourth wave of an impulse is a corrective mode wave, ladies and gentlemen, and it's usually created by an expanded triangle. And this expanded triangle is subdividing itself into 5 smaller waves, A, B, C, D, E. And right now, I do believe that we are creating the final E wave that will, with the highest probability, finish right here, okay? So if I chart it one more time, how the price action should look like is something like this. We will retest this level. We will start doing some confirmations like a candlestick pattern, double bottom, etc. on the lower time frames. And then I want to see a move higher. How higher can we go, ladies and gentlemen? We're gonna discuss right now. First of all, one resistance can be made out of the channel, right? Another resistance using the Fibonacci retracement tool. So I want to create a resistance by placing my tool to the local top and to the local bottom of the previous nearest wave. So we have 2 zones right here. We have 2 levels. Most important one is this one, ladies and gentlemen. So I place a resistance at around 3,300. And now it really depends on the price action, how fast it goes, right? If it goes very fast, it is high probability that we will get rejected from here. If it goes slowly, we might get rejected later because it will again confluence with the ascending trend line of the channel and a Fibonacci retracement level. Also, if you want to get more confluences, ladies and gentlemen, we can also analyze the previous higher degree waves and take a Fibonacci from there. So we place it from the top to the local bottom and we can see a nice confluence of 0.61 Fibonacci retracement level. That's the strongest one, all right, at around 3,400. So pretty tough resistance is going to be in this area, right? If we go too fast, we might get rejected already from here. With ParadiseTeam, we will be monitoring the market. If you are not in ParadiseTeam VIP, where you are getting from us our personal trades with exact entry and exit targets, make sure that you are following your strategy with precision, discipline and patience, and I will keep you updated in the upcoming videos because I'm recording videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday for you. So I will see you next time. Feel free to smash the like button, by the way. Cheers.